Do you know what endometriosis is? It's a reproductive disease that affects about 10 million women in the U.S. It can cause those women excruciating pain, and is one of the top 3 causes of female infertility. It's Endometriosis Awareness Month right now. Here to tell us more about the disease is Dr. Tamer Seckin, an endometriosis specialist, and one of his patients, Lisa Saranda. Welcome, both of you. So, doctor, tell me a little bit more. What precisely is endometriosis?
Endometriosis is the disease of the womb, but especially things with the period time, and characterized with painful periods, later with painful sexual contact, and infertility. Therefore, it is probably one of that special private diseases that's not been talked about, and also the most misdiagnosed, the most mishandled and mistreated disease. And most diagnosed. It's very interesting because it never comes to the attention of the parents easily, and women's cycles are very private, and it's usually said normal, and then the doctors that are involved, it's always been put in the back seat. By the time it's diagnosed, on average 10 years, and unfortunately at that time there's serious destruction of internal organs with respect to scar tissue and dysfunction of other organs that are associated with the female reproductive tract.
So Lisa is your patient, and you suffered for how long before you finally were able to do something about it?
Well, my story is a little more complicated than that. I was diagnosed in 1995, so I've been living with it for 15 years as a diagnosis, but I suffered from very painful periods during my adolescence and would faint in public places. I fainted at the Museum of Natural History when I came here as a teenager for the first time, and when I was diagnosed, I was familiar with the disease, but I didn't really know too much about it, and there wasn't much said about it in 1995. I had a few surgeries, but as Dr. Seckin will tell you, those surgeries were relatively unsuccessful because I kept having the problem.
You're cured now, I take it.
Well, I hope so. At the hands of Dr. Seckin, I had my 3rd surgery last November, and I believe that my quality of life has improved significantly due to the innovative techniques that he's developed.
Doctor, can you reverse infertility with surgery?
Yes. With good surgery, you can do a lot to make fertility the most possible. However, it depends what stage you're at.
Right.
It's the pain aspect of it also with good surgery, which we call excision. There are really burning and other types of, but excision is like cancer surgery. You have to take the material that's been giving this scar tissue, that origin, that tissue has to be out with the gland tissue. These are mini periods that happens every month. So the source, the head of the snake has to be out. Otherwise, the symptoms continue and completely.
The good news is that there is a cure. You can effectively cure a significant number of patients, correct?
I think we should be very careful when we use the word cure. It's highly treatable. Cure is guarded with respect to how the disease forms and how early we intervene. Early diagnosis is probably the best, and early intervention is probably the best prevention and holding of disease, because in the end, there is infertility and hysterectomy eventually meets these patients' origin.
Lisa, thank you for coming in and sharing your story with us.